What would you do in a situation like this? 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were playing near their home in quiet Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, when, in a matter of moments, they disappeared without a trace. The silence that followed was deafening. Their mother, Malehya Brooks-Murray, was caught in action, and what she did in those first critical minutes could mean the difference between hope and despair. She didn't freeze. She didn't panic for long. Instead, her mind raced, every second counting like a ticking bomb. She picked up the phone and called 911 immediately, her voice steady yet urgent, giving the dispatcher every detail she could remember: where the children were last seen, what they were wearing, and what they were doing just moments before. Her decisive action set a chain reaction in motion. Within minutes, RCMP officers, drones, helicopters, and local volunteers were mobilized, searching every corner of the neighborhood. The tension was palpable. Every second without news made the air heavier, every shadow in the quiet streets a possible clue. Now, let's be honest. Could you really do what she did? Most people would freeze, cry, or panic in such a terrifying moment. Most people wouldn't even know where to begin. Malehya acted decisively, staying calm enough to provide critical information that launched one of the largest missing children searches in recent Nova Scotia history. Her courage in those first crucial minutes could be the difference between hope and despair. And this is where we want to hear from you. Could the first moments after a disappearance hold the key to finding missing children? How would you react if it were your own kids? Don't just imagine it. Think about it, because most people wouldn't be able to do what she did. Drop your honest thoughts and theories in the comments below. If this story gives you chills and keeps you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, and help us to reach over 1,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on so you won't miss any updates on this ongoing case. Every comment, every share, every view helps raise awareness and keeps the search alive for Lilly and Jack Sullivan. The clock was ticking, the world was watching, and every second counted. What happened in those first critical minutes? What's happening now? And what could happen soon? Let's dive in and uncover every moment of this unfolding mystery. On the 2nd of May this year, just over 100 days ago, the Sullivan home in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, seemed like any other quiet spring morning. The sun was rising, birds were singing, and a calm hung over the neighborhood. Inside, Malehya Brooks-Murray was attending to her 1-year-old, making breakfast and tidying up, while her older children, 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack, played nearby. For a few minutes, everything seemed normal. Lilly and Jack ran between the kitchen and backyard, their laughter echoing through the house. They were full of energy, moving quickly, unaware of time passing. But then, in what felt like a single heartbeat, they vanished. No one saw them leave. No sounds of struggle pierced the morning. One moment they were there, the next, silence. The ordinary calm of the home turned suffocating. Panic surged through Malehya as the impossible sank in. Her children were gone. Her first instinct was action. She bolted outside, eyes scanning every corner of the yard, calling their names over and over. Swings, sandbox, bushes, they were checked frantically, heart hammering, adrenaline forcing her forward before precious minutes slipped away. Inside, she searched every room, every closet, every tiny hiding spot she knew they loved. She retraced their steps in her mind, recalling what they wore, which way they had last run, any sign of footprints or movement. Minutes stretched into eternity. The ordinary morning had turned into a nightmare. Every second was critical. Fear threatened to paralyze her, but she stayed focused. Malehya knew that those first actions in a disappearance could decide everything, whether her children would be found quickly or vanish without a trace. The surrounding neighborhood lay quiet, almost eerily so. The silence seemed to swallow the house whole. In those first terrifying minutes, Malehya made decisions that would define the search. She would not panic. She would not wait. She would do everything in her power to find Lilly and Jack. The disappearance was sudden, incomprehensible, and heartbreaking. Yet amid the fear and uncertainty, Malehya's determination shone.
She acted immediately, setting into motion the first steps of a desperate search that would soon mobilize authorities, neighbors, and an entire community. Every heartbeat, every second counted, and the race against time had begun.
After realizing Lilly and Jack were missing, Malehya Brooks-Murray felt a surge of panic, but she forced herself to focus. She knew that in situations like this, every second counted. Dropping everything else, she grabbed her phone and dialed 911. The seconds it took for the call to connect felt like an eternity. When the operator answered, Malehya's voice was a mixture of fear and urgency. She reported her children's names, ages, and physical descriptions, detailing exactly what they were wearing that morning. She described the last time she saw them, the direction they were heading, and the way they moved around the house and yard. Every detail, no matter how small, she shared, because she knew it could be the difference between finding them quickly or losing precious time. As she spoke, her eyes never left the yard or nearby areas. The house, normally a place of comfort, now felt vast and empty without the laughter of her children. She retraced every step in her mind. Had they gone to the garden, the swing set, or wandered toward the nearby wooded area? Every shadow, every corner, every space where a child might hide or stumble became a focus of her frantic search. The operator guided her calmly, asking questions about neighbors, any recent visitors, or unusual activity. Malehya provided everything she could remember: which neighbors were home, what the children were playing with, any clues from pets or signs of movement outside. While on the call, she continued calling for Lilly and Jack, straining to hear their tiny voices, hoping for any response. Within minutes, the RCMP dispatched officers to the neighborhood. Local volunteers began gathering, ready to search. Helicopters would soon hover overhead, drones deployed to scan the surrounding area. The precision and detail of Malehya's 911 call allowed law enforcement to launch a coordinated response immediately, covering every possible area where Lilly and Jack could be. Even under extreme stress, her actions were methodical. She stayed on the line as long as possible, answering every question with clarity, providing information only a parent who knows every habit, every hiding spot could offer. Those early moments, the frantic yard search, the detailed 911 report, and her unwavering vigilance set the foundation for a massive search operation involving hundreds of officers, helicopters, drones, and volunteers. Malehya's decisive and careful actions in those first critical minutes may have been the most crucial step in the ongoing effort to find Lilly and Jack Sullivan. The morning that had started with laughter had transformed into a desperate race against time. Each second was precious, and the choices she made during that 911 call would echo throughout the investigation, shaping how the search unfolded in the hours and days to come. Immediately after the 911 call, Malehya Brooks-Murray knew she could not sit idly by. Her children, Lilly and Jack, were missing, and every minute that slipped by could be crucial. She rushed outside, scanning the yard, driveway, and nearby areas, her eyes darting from one corner to the next. She called down names repeatedly, her voice cutting through the quiet morning air, straining for any hint of their tiny voices. As first responders and local volunteers began to arrive, Malehya jumped into action alongside them. She pointed out the last places she had seen her children, described favorite spots where they often played, and guided the teams on areas to search first. Every bush, every tree, every corner of the yard and property was examined with painstaking attention. She moved between search teams, coordinating efforts without pause, ensuring that no detail, no clue was overlooked. Her intimate knowledge of the children proved invaluable. She remembered that Jack often ran straight to the sandbox, while Lilly liked hiding behind the small backyard shed. She pointed out paths through the nearby woods that the children might have taken, and described subtle behaviors that could hint at where they might go if frightened or curious. Thanks to her insights, search teams could divide their efforts efficiently, covering more ground in the precious hours after the disappearance. Hours passed, and the tension only grew. Malehya continued searching tirelessly, walking through fields, scanning wooded areas near the home, checking alleys and driveways beyond the immediate property. She spoke to neighbors, asking if anyone had seen her children or noticed anything unusual that morning. Every sound, every shadow, every small movement made her heart race. Yet even the most determined efforts are not immune to the strain of fear.
In a moment of anxiety and desperation, Malehya blocked her husband, Daniel Martel, from communicating with her, limiting his involvement in the search. Though her intention was to maintain control and protect her children, this decision later became a point of controversy, highlighting how extreme stress and fear can impact judgment even while acting with the best intentions. Still, she pressed on. Malehya coordinated with volunteers, guided officers through difficult terrain, and provided critical details about her children's habits, routines, and personalities. She described not just where they had been, but how they moved, what made them feel safe, and where they might hide if scared. Her insights allowed search teams to focus their energy strategically, turning panic into organized action. As the day wore on, exhaustion was evident, but her determination never wavered. She moved continuously, checking and rechecking areas, listening for any hint of sound, any clue that could lead to Lilly and Jack. The early hours of the search, defined by her tireless effort and intimate knowledge of her children, set the tone for what would become a massive, coordinated, and highly emotional investigation. The morning that had started with laughter had now stretched into a day of fear, anxiety, and relentless action. Malehya Brooks-Murray's hands-on involvement, her detailed guidance to authorities, and even her imperfect decisions were all part of a desperate attempt to bring her children home safely. Each step, each decision, each moment of courage in those first hours marked the foundation of the search, a powerful illustration of both human frailty and the fierce determination of a parent in crisis.
As the search for Lilly and Jack stretched into the evening and beyond, Malehya Brooks-Murray faced the crushing weight of exhaustion, fear, and uncertainty. The adrenaline that had carried her through the first frantic hours began to fade, replaced by emotional fatigue. She realized she needed support, both physically and mentally, to continue helping in the search. Malehya temporarily withdrew to stay with family, seeking a place to gather her strength. Surrounded by loved ones, she found small moments of reprieve, sharing her fears and worries with relatives who provided comfort and practical assistance. These moments allowed her to regain composure and prepare for the ongoing efforts, but they were not without complications. Amid the overwhelming stress, Malehya made a controversial decision. She blocked her husband, Daniel Martel, from contacting her. In her mind, this was a way to manage the chaos and control the flow of information during one of the most critical periods of the search. While her intent may have been protective, it inadvertently limited communication and coordination at a crucial time. Authorities later noted this action as a misstep, observing that collaboration between parents could have helped streamline search operations. Despite this tension, Malehya continued to provide authorities with every detail she could recall about the children. She recounted the last time she saw them, described their routines, habits, and favorite hiding spots, and guided searchers to areas that may have been overlooked. Her cooperation with law enforcement remained unwavering, even as the emotional toll threatened to overwhelm her. The search intensified. RCMP officers deployed larger teams using helicopters, drones, and K-9 units to scan the surrounding woods and fields. Volunteers combed the neighborhood, and media attention grew, spreading awareness of the missing children across Nova Scotia. Malehya's presence during these early stages remained vital. Her insights directed searches and helped authorities prioritize areas based on her knowledge of her children's behavior. Even while physically away from the immediate search at times, she stayed in constant communication with authorities and family, ensuring every lead was followed. Her emotional resilience and strategic input demonstrated a delicate balance, protecting herself while relentlessly advocating for her children's safety. Yet, the strain was visible. Exhaustion, fear, and grief were constant companions, and the decisions made under pressure, like limiting her husband's involvement, highlighted the human side of crisis management. Even the most determined and well-intentioned parent can make choices under extreme stress that have far-reaching consequences. The withdrawal to family, the limited communication with Daniel, and her unwavering cooperation with law enforcement set the stage for the next phase, a coordinated, high-profile search that drew in the broader community, media, and investigative teams. These early days were critical, not only in keeping hope alive, but also in laying the foundation for every effort that would follow in the search for Lilly and Jack Sullivan.
The hours following the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan saw the RCMP take immediate control of the investigation. Officers quickly organized a large-scale search operation extending beyond the neighborhood to cover surrounding fields, woods, and waterways. Canine units trained in tracking children were deployed. Drones scanned inaccessible areas, and helicopters hovered above, providing an aerial perspective of the terrain. Every minute mattered. Every unsearched corner could hold a vital clue. Malehya Brooks-Murray stayed closely involved, offering critical details about her children's habits, favorite hiding spots, and behaviors. Every insight she provided guided search teams to areas they might otherwise have overlooked. Her intimate knowledge of Lilly and Jack became a cornerstone of the investigation, helping authorities prioritize searches and allocate resources effectively. Volunteers and community members joined the effort, combing streets, alleys, and wooded paths. Flyers were posted, social media alerts circulated, and local news coverage began spreading awareness. Malehya's cooperation ensured law enforcement had the most accurate and up-to-date information at every stage, keeping the search focused and efficient. Tensions within the family added another layer of complexity. Earlier, Malehya had blocked her husband, Daniel Martel, limiting his direct involvement. While intended to maintain control and focus, this decision created challenges for investigators who needed input from both parents to confirm timelines and validate leads. Despite this, Malehya's information remained essential to the search's progress. The RCMP also examined security camera footage from nearby homes and businesses, reviewed traffic in the area, and conducted extensive interviews with neighbors. Every tip, no matter how minor, was investigated. Malehya assisted by recalling subtle details, sounds she had heard that morning, small movements she had observed, and any unusual interactions in the neighborhood. Her meticulous cooperation helped law enforcement maintain momentum during the first critical days. Public awareness grew rapidly. Surrounding communities were alerted, and media coverage ensured the story of Lilly and Jack reached a wide audience. Malehya's constant communication and dedication contributed directly to sustaining the search's intensity, ensuring that every lead was followed and every area thoroughly checked. The combination of law enforcement expertise, community involvement, and the mother's detailed input laid the foundation for the next phase: media escalation, wider public attention, and the heightened pressure that would follow in the ongoing search for Lilly and Jack Sullivan. By the third day of the search, news of Lilly and Jack Sullivan's disappearance had spread far beyond Lansdowne Station. Local media outlets began covering the story extensively, and soon it reached national attention. Television crews, journalists, and social media users shared updates, photos, and alerts, creating a wave of awareness that rippled across Nova Scotia and beyond. Malehya Brooks-Murray found herself thrust into the public eye. Interviews were requested, cameras followed her every move, and questions poured in from journalists seeking updates. Despite the pressure, she remained focused on the search, using media attention as a tool to amplify awareness and encourage anyone with information to come forward. Public engagement became a critical component of the investigation. Residents joined the search, patrolling streets, checking wooded areas, and distributing flyers. Social media campaigns spread images of Lilly and Jack, descriptions of their clothing, and contact information for tips. Malehya's careful cooperation with authorities ensured that all information shared publicly was accurate and actionable, helping the search rather than creating confusion or false leads. Amid the growing media presence, family tensions continued to complicate the investigation. Malehya's earlier decision to block her husband, Daniel Martel, remained a point of controversy. Investigators had to navigate family dynamics carefully, balancing public reporting with the need for a coordinated search. Despite these challenges, the combination of law enforcement, volunteers, and media attention intensified the effort, keeping the search in the public eye and maintaining pressure on anyone with knowledge of the children's whereabouts.
Media coverage also brought emotional scrutiny. Questions about timelines, decisions, and actions by Malehya and others surfaced repeatedly. Each interview, each news segment reminded the public of the urgency and gravity of the situation. Malehya stayed resolute, guiding authorities, providing detailed information about the children's routines and possible hiding spots, and encouraging vigilance among the public. As days passed, the investigation expanded further. Tips from the public led search teams to new areas, while media exposure ensured the story remained in the collective consciousness. Malehya's visibility, combined with law enforcement coordination, kept hope alive while driving a focused and systematic search effort, demonstrating the crucial role that public awareness and media attention can play in missing children cases. The escalation of media coverage, public involvement, and investigative resources marked a turning point in the search for Lilly and Jack, a moment when the collective efforts of authorities, family, and community converged, increasing the chances of finding them while intensifying scrutiny on every decision made during those critical days.
By mid-June 2025, the search for Lilly and Jack Sullivan had entered a critical phase. Despite exhaustive efforts by the RCMP, including polygraph tests on 54 individuals and the examination of over 488 tips, the whereabouts of the missing children remained unknown. The Nova Scotia government had offered a $150,000 reward for information leading to their discovery, yet no significant leads had emerged. Malehya Brooks-Murray, the children's mother, had temporarily withdrawn to stay with family, seeking support during this grueling time. However, her decision to block her husband, Daniel Martel, from contacting her added layers of complexity. This choice limited communication between the parents and authorities, potentially slowing the investigation at a crucial stage. Public opinion was divided. Some community members criticized Malehya, suggesting she should have been more hands-on in the search. Others sympathized, understanding the immense emotional toll she faced. Meanwhile, the RCMP continued to follow every lead, relying on all available information to guide the search. The investigation had grown into a massive operation. Authorities conducted extensive searches, reviewed security footage, and interviewed members of the community. Each day brought new challenges, as officials worked tirelessly to uncover any clue that could lead to Lilly and Jack. Despite the setbacks, Malehya's cooperation and determination remained constant. She shared what she knew about the children's routines, small details from the morning they went missing, and any observations that could help narrow the search. Her knowledge became a cornerstone of the investigation, guiding search teams through areas they might not have otherwise considered. As the days turned into weeks, the combined efforts of law enforcement, volunteers, and Malehya's insights continued to drive the search forward. Every action, every lead, every decision was focused on one goal: bringing Lilly and Jack home safely. The case challenged the community, authorities, and family alike, highlighting the relentless uncertainty, heartbreak, and determination inherent in missing children investigations. Audience engagement. What do you think about the decisions made by the family during the search? Do you believe every lead was handled effectively? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to stay updated on developments like these, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps bring attention to important stories and ensures you never miss an update. I'm Agent Tim, committed to bringing you evidence with truth, and this story is far from over. Subscribe and turn on your notification bell to stay informed.